Alrighty, folks, that was Michael Lee. And in case you have been under a rock here in the Dallas-Fort Worth, North Texas area, he's got something very exciting going on, and he's here in the studio with me right now. Hi, Michael.
I'm so glad to be back.
I'm so glad that you're here. So we're going to get right to it because this is the thing everybody wants to know about, The Voice.
Yeah.
So how did it come about, you being on The Voice?
Well, me and my wife, we went down to Houston just on like an anniversary trip, and just saw that they were doing auditions down there that same weekend. Just happened to be, and she's always told me that I should try out for The Voice, and I was like, you're crazy, there's no way I could ever make it. And so I just went and tried out, and I sang Thriller's Gone for that first audition, and I made it through. There's a couple more little processes you have to go through before you get to the blind audition, but I was lucky that I was also singing B.B. King there too.
So you just happened to be there?
Well, I mean, like, I had to sign up at some point.
Sure,
but,
sure.
Yeah, it wasn't something that I've been planning for on months on end or anything like that. It felt more of a whim. I was turning 30 of that year, and I was like, well, might as well give this a shot, see what happens.
Well, and I have to say, sitting at home watching it, it was a strange, wonderful, surreal feeling to turn on the TV, and there you were, and you were doing a blues song, and I was so happy that you did. So how did you decide for the blind audition, or for even the audition, what you were going to do? Because I would think that'd be kind of a sweaty moment. What am I going to do?
Well, I'm very fortunate to have the parents that I've had that have raised me in blues music and in the scene, and taken me out to the Hole in the Wall and different places like that for me to go to jams. And so blues has always been in my life, and I vividly remember them taking me out of preschool when I was super young to go see, I don't know who was all on the bill, but I know whenever I got there, Buddy Guy's set was ending, and then it was B.B. King, and then the Allman Brothers over at Starplex, I think is what it was called there.
Sure.
And then, but B.B. King has always been somebody that I've been fascinated with, even from a very young age. So, and The Voice loves stories and personal stories, and my love for B.B. King has not gone away at any point. And that's always been my goal. That's why I have a horn section in the band that I do, is because I want to just be able to play lead and sing like B.B. does. And so it was pretty much a no-brainer to pick a B.B. King song.
That's excellent. You've also had some excellent mentors here in the area.
Yes.
Because we've talked about this before, because Dallas-Fort Worth is a hotbed for blues. It really is, for great blues players.
It really is.
So who have been some of your people here? I know, but tell our audience.
Yeah, my biggest influences growing up in the scene and people who have mentored me, Buddy Whittington was a big one. He played with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. Andrew Junior Boy Jones is another really good one. Even Smokin' Joe Kubek for a short time. I remember seeing whenever Lucky Peterson would walk into the Hole in the Wall, everybody would just kind of freak out that he was there.
Sure.
And I remember one night there was a B3 organ there, and he played like Voodoo Child on that thing. And it just, as a 17, 18-year-old kid, I was just like, whoa, there's another level to this thing. And just
a very high level with a guy
very
like
high
Lucky,
level
for sure.
And so just trying to pursue that. I mean, Holland K. Smith, I could go on and on and on, and I'll forget people, and I'll feel really bad if I forget.
It's okay. You guys know he's thinking of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was funny with me when they were talking to you, when they had finally all turned around, and they were talking to you, and they were saying, "Man, there's nobody like this. There's nothing like this." And I was thinking, but we've known about him for a while.
Right.
You guys are just learning about him.
Right.
But I've kind of watched you grow up into this, and starting out as a sax player.
Yeah.
Which people don't think of that now. They think of you as the guitar player.
Right.
But you are still a very good sax player.
And now it's becoming even more just the singer than
Yeah.
the guitar player, which is cool with me. Like, if I can just be a singer-songwriter in that realm, that would be great. There's so many great guitar players, and,
There are.
and don't want to get lost in the mix.
It's true. So I know there's probably rules to you being on the show and things that you can say.
Yeah.
What made you choose Blake?
So going with Blake, I don't know if it's his accent or what. Originally, my goal going into was like, if Kelly turns around, I'm going to pick Kelly, because that just takes all debate out of it, because she's from Burleson.
Sure.
And, and me being from Fort Worth, that's a no-brainer. But she was the only one that didn't turn around.
Which I was surprised.
Yeah.
That was weird to me.
Adam stood up in his chair, which I've watched him on the show many times, and that means that he really, really wants somebody.
Sure.
Jay Hud threw her shoe, which means that she really,
awesome.
really, really wants
Yes.
you. And then, Blake is just like, I don't know, man. I think I could take you to the finals. And so I was kind of, I don't know. I went with him just because it reminded me of home a little bit with that accent. And being from Fort Worth, you have to be a stout in not only blues but country music.
Sure.
And so I can speak the language. And also from watching the show in the past, Blake's really not about bogging down in the details on how you sing, but really choosing the right song so that whatever you do well shines.
Which is perfect. Exactly what you need there on that show. Now, the last one I watched, you were up in a battle with another Fort Worth or another guy from. Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
Joey Green was the other contestant on the show that I ended up battling against. I've known him for, I think they said 8 years on the show, but it could have even been longer. I used to play in just guitar for a bunch of different bands, and some of them were Texas country bands.
Sure.
And we would go play bills and a bunch of bands on the bill, and Joey Green would always be a staple in that scene. So it was really kind of crazy, just one, to see him in this whole process, and then getting to hang out with him a bunch, and it was kind of cool to share that experience with him. It was bittersweet, because there's nobody I would rather share that duet and experience with, and that way that you could show what Fort Worth has to offer, the blues and the country and the rock side of everything.
Yeah.
But then also it's bitter because one of us had to move on and the other one didn't.
Sure. Which is almost a tough spot for them to put you in.
Yeah.
The both of you. It kind of seemed unfair, and I thought, really, this early, you can't match them up with people they don't really know yet, or something like that. But he seemed like he was cool with it, that he took it okay, that he understood.
Joey's a great guy and incredible songwriter. So, I mean, he's got a great career going. So
tell me this, because I think this is very important, and I think this is something I know I have thought of a lot of times with these shows. What is your mindset going into this? Because you have to kind of get your head screwed on right before you go in of, I want to win this. I want to take it as far as I can, but if I don't, what am I getting out of it? And what are you feeling about that kind of stuff?
At each stage, it's been a little bit different. Before the blind audition, it was like, I just want one chair to turn.
Sure.
Just some little, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but some, I don't know, result for all my hard work over these years.
Some validation.
Yeah, some validation for all the hard work over the years. And just, for somebody to say that I don't suck. That's kind of cool.
Well, you don't suck.
But then once it gets to the battles, I mean, it was kind of, the goal at the battle time where me and Joey was to make sure one of us got stolen.
Sure.
So we were really working hard together to not make it a battle, but more of a duet, and not step on each other's toes, and really try to help each other shine.
Yeah,
the
not
best
a
that we
head cutting.
could. No, it's not
at all. And it didn't come off that way. So kudos to you guys.
We didn't want it to be that way, because some of the other performances are all about how many notes you can run and hit and stuff. And we're like, man, this is a Bonnie Raitt, John Hyatt song, and it's all about the song and just singing the song. And that's really what we were focusing on. So
when they do that and they choose a song, do you have any say so in that, or they say, this is what we've chosen for you, this is what you're going to do? For the blind audition, I get to choose the song. Okay. For the battles, the coach gets to choose the song. Okay. And they try to make it as even as possible, which I felt the Bonnie Raitt song was really right down the middle, because Joey has a real high voice. Yes. And he's also country and rock. Mm-hmm. And then Bonnie Raitt kind of encompasses all of that. She's got that country, rock, and blues aspect to what she does. So, and I have that blues rock thing. So it really was kind of right down the middle. It's almost, it's really, it was a great choice in my opinion. And then this next round, the knockout round, I get to pick my own song, which is still a secret. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. I'm going to take care of a little bit of business, but we'll be right back with Michael Lee. All right. All righty, folks, if you just tuned in, I've got Michael Lee here in the studio. We are talking about his appearance this season on The Voice. Hey now. So here's a good question for you. I don't know Blake Shelton. Okay. If I got on an elevator, my thing is this. It's always, would I want to sit next to this person on a long plane ride? If I got on a plane ride and was sitting next to Blake Shelton, would I be happy? You would have the time of your life. That dude is funny as it gets. What I love about him as a coach, especially whenever we're doing any of these rehearsals, for instance,
going to this next knockout round, they just released and let everybody know that the special advisor is Mariah Carey. So, like, we're walking out and we have no idea, and we're big surprises on her face, and, like, of course he says some thing that I can't repeat here. Just
okay, thank you.
Just beep, 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 just to everybody just like just kind of clear the air, and it's like, look, and just relax, and let's just have fun with this whole thing. And then, by the way, this is Mariah Carey.
Yeah, that's
So that's pretty cool. So I mean, I got to hug Mariah Carey and meet her, and she was really nice and everything. It's pretty cool.
I think the ones that get involved with these shows are really wanting to do something positive with the artists that are on there. So, I would expect them as a general rule to be nice,
right,
and be encouraging.
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody dealt with, which is Mariah Carey, Blake Shelton, and Keith Urban. They've all been really helpful and very, very, very nice and genuine, and really, really trying to help us along this journey.
Very, very cool. So, when you're in town now and you've got a gig tonight, we're going to talk about some upcoming gigs because you've got things. Does your band give you crap about this when you get on stage? Do they tease you about it, or are they giving you a hard time?
No, they're all real supportive.
Are they coming up and saying, "Michael, here, can I have your autograph on this check?"
No, they're waiting to get paid. No, no, they're good. They're great and supportive, and they're just along the ride with this whole thing as I am.
Sure. How I would have to think so people watching the show, when they see you and you're young and they look at you, they don't know. Like we were talking about a little bit on the when the commercials are running a while ago, they don't know that you've really paid your dues. You've played a bunch of gigs. You've been on big stages and small stages and little places and big places and with famous people and with not famous people. So you know how this is. But there still has to be, is there that really that giddy fan moment when you're first on there and you're with all these people? And because there would be for me.
Yeah, I mean, of course there is a shock factor at first, and I'm getting throughout this process, you can see from the way I was in the blinds or battles, and then what you'll see in the knockouts is that I get more comfortable around these big stars, but because they're just trying to make you look good too,
and they're just people,
and they're just people.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a little giddy moment. I had a giddy moment the other day when I got a call from Boogaloo, the trumpet player for B.B. King's band.
Wow.
And he was telling me how proud and how that I did the B.B. King song justice.
Yes.
And that he has the B.B. King band is still playing shows. And they want me to come play some shows with them in this next year.
And of course, I'm sure you said yes to that because you're not dumb. You're very smart.
That's one of the most giddy moments I think I've had on this thing.
Well, because that is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah, it really is. A huge thing to do that. So let's talk a little bit about, you've got a website, and I know it's been revamped.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah. I like the way it looks now.
It does look really good. Yeah. So tell people what the website address is, and Facebook, and what kind of things they can find out there as they're following you on this journey.
Yeah, so you can go to michaelleeband.com, and it has links to T-shirts, our singles that are out. Also, it has links to my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages, which all the handles are Michael Lee FW.
Okay.
So that's FW for Fort Worth, in case you're wondering. But you can see all the videos and little different experiences that I'm having while I'm back here at home. And I'll be posting things from back over the summer whenever I was recording these battles and knockout rounds, and just the friendships and the experiences that I'm experiencing, and you can follow my stories and all that good stuff.
Now, that original blind audition thing has, over 3 million hits?
Yeah, it's like 3.3 last time I checked.
Does that feel a little strange when you think about that?
It's wild. It's
crazy. Wonderful.
It's awesome.
Because I looked at it a while back and it was like 2 million. I looked at it today, it was over 3 million, and I'm like, this is so fabulous.
It's crazy. It's really a surreal experience, and I never would have thought that this would have been the case.
And we were talking a little bit about how having done the things you've done, having played all those gigs and stuff, you're really in a prime spot for this now in your life, in your career. You've married your sweetie.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Because that was I'm going to say this, because obviously I have been a Michael Lee fan for a long time, and you know that.
Yeah.
I've always believed in you, always. But watching you in that blind audition, my favorite thing was that you were you.
Yeah.
You weren't trying to be something else. You weren't up there of, I'm going to be on this big stage and I'm going to suddenly become something else or try to be something else. No, you were you.
Doing the blues thing, I knew the blues has always been a part of me, and I knew that under whatever stressful situation, even it goes back to gigs that weren't that favorable, or playing in front of crowds that weren't there to see me, or they were to see a country artist.
Sure.
I knew I could most likely my best chance to turn any of those people around was to take a slow blues and just 1, 2, 3, and then just get down deep into it. So I knew that if I, under any circumstances, any stress, that I would be able to sing a blues song. So that's where all those shows have really helped me. And also, I mean, if you notice on the show, there's like monitors in the floor, and you don't have like in-ears, they're pointing up.
Yeah.
So the first couple of gigs I would do with Mace Maven and Bobby Counts and people like that, they're like, monitors? Why do you need monitors? So you would, and they would be doing 3-part harmony on that, without monitors. Yeah. And so that's kind of where I started singing, was without monitors. So that really came into play and really helped me through this journey.
Yeah. No, you know your stuff. You have done the homework on it. You have done all that stuff. So, again, seriously, I think this is you were poised at the perfect spot for this.
Well, I agree.
Well, you're doing it, and you're fine with it. And I mean, I can tell by looking at you and talking to you, you're still Michael Lee.
Yeah, I'm not.
You didn't come in here all puffed out with some dark glasses on and going, oh man, my publicist will talk to you about run the questions by them.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
No, and good, because what you got going is a great thing, and that's why you got chosen for that. Well, and it was fabulous for me to watch all those musicians that were the judges hearing you and knowing.
Right.
And knowing. That was just awesome.
Yeah.
It was great fun.
It was crazy. I wish I could remember more of it. My adrenaline was insane. Kind of like a blackout moment a little bit.
I'm sure, but you handled it well. You handled it with aplomb. So so good for you. So I know that you have those 2 singles out now, and I know you've been telling me for a while that you were working on new CD. Have you got other stuff in the works that you're working on? Recorded stuff?
There is pretty much an album ready to go.
Okay. And I'm sure the show is
whenever I'm allowed to release music again.
Yeah.
But once I am, I'll have that album ready to go, and then I'm also working on another one, working with some of the people that I've met over this experience, and that are songwriters in Nashville and stuff like that, and they maybe didn't make it as far, and they're sending me, hey man, I wrote a blues song. I had a buddy of mine send me a blues song today, and it's called Heart for Sale, which is pretty cool. It's a really good blues song, but and there's some other things that I can't talk about that are in the works.
I know, and I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
And as soon as I can announce it, I will let everybody know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but I was talking to Michael and telling him about when I interviewed Casey James a few months back, and we were talking about his thing on American Idol. And it's like he's like, that's the difference between one night you're playing in Fort Worth, you're playing for 15 people, and the next night you're on TV and you're playing in front of a few million. And it's knowing how to use that, knowing what to make out of that.
Right. Just how to capitalize on that experience whenever it's happening to you. And really, I've been fortunate that this whole process hasn't been live. So I do have, the blind audition happened back at the end of June. So actually, I did my blind audition a month after I got married. And and I have all this time to prepare for this moment, and I got a team around me, and I'm just very fortunate to be here and just be able to enjoy this whole moment with all my friends and family.
Sure. And it looks like you are enjoying it. You seem calm.
Yeah.
You seem like maybe you've slept.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I've slept. First couple nights, I did not because my phone was just blowing up.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that is at that moment when all of a sudden you're on TV and then everybody sees it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everybody you've ever known or that thinks they've ever known you.
Right.
Calling you, trying to.
Right. I mean, it's cool. I love it. There's being busy in this productive way is never a bad thing.
Well, and this is not your first time on the show. We've talked about a lot of stuff with you, and what you really love to do is play.
Yeah.
You're a musician. That is what goes down to your soul.
Yeah.
That is who you are. So this is not something new. This is not something you're doing just to be on TV. This is who you are.
Right.
This is just another step in that journey. This isn't the journey is to go to there. This is your journey as an artist, and this is another piece of that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So it's our top of the hour, so I'm going to take care of a little top of the hour business, and then I'm going to do our live music calendar, and then we're going to come back and chat a little more before you have to run out of here. Okay. So as I said, I've got Michael Lee here in the studio with me right now. We've been talking about his experience being there on The Voice.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about your website and some upcoming stuff there. So tell them again, I mentioned some of these gigs in passing, but tell them again where they can see you here, because you're here right now.
Yeah, I'm here. You can come see me. I have a couple more shows coming up in the next few weeks, and you can see those at michaelleeband.com, and that's the best way to find out where I'm playing.
Okay. What about on Facebook? What kind of things do you put on your social media? What kind of stuff you post there?
Man, there's a bunch of little just silly videos, and I talk about little cool experiences like the BB King band reaching out to me, just cool experiences that I'm experiencing, and just try to take everybody on this journey along with me. So that way I just kind of share everything that's happening, my thoughts, and doing little blogs here, video blogs here and there, just to kind of talk about what I'm going through and what my family's going through. And
so are you doing anything like keeping a journal or?
I haven't done that as much as I would like to, but I mean, kind of rolling that mental videotape while it's going on, and I've like the Buddy magazine article was really cool, so I went and grabbed one of those.
I think Jackie Don Jackie
Don wrote that, so that was really kind of cool to have him writing that on me, because he was instrumental in me getting started at the Hole in the Wall and going to Nate's Seafood on Sundays.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I would strongly suggest, though, journaling some. This will happen so fast. This piece is just, I'm sure your head is swimming.
Yeah.
But these are only your memories. And once you're out of them, a few years down the road, you'll remember what happened, but you won't remember it as vividly as if you would just write it down.
Yeah, I need to start and write it down.
Something, even if you just, do voice recognition to your phone, something, and transcribe it down later, because, man, this is the stuff that memories are made of, for sure.
I heard a quote, just talking about memories. This comedian, Brian Regan, he was talking about, like every great memory that you've ever had in your life, there's always been those butterflies in your stomach before. So never be afraid of those butterflies.
Exactly.
And I've just really kind of taken that through this whole process.
Because everybody has them.
Yeah, everybody gets them, and not to be scared of them. So that really kind of resonated with me.
And, I think especially as a musician, when you reach that point where you don't have those anymore, it's kind of time to rethink what you're doing. Yeah,
to step out your comfort zone a little bit and, try something new.
You should care enough.
Yeah.
You should care enough to be, you need to be composed too, and you are, but you should feel a little flutter. You should be a little nervous because that means that you really care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before all this happened, nerve-wracking gig, I was at Hoots Pub in Amarillo, Texas, and I was opening up for Mickey and the Motor Cars. So it wasn't technically a blues concert. And I look out right before we go on, and it's just nothing but Stetson hats and chewing tobacco, and I felt like, man, this could go just like the Blues Brothers movie. But I told my horn section, it's like, hey, we're going to start off with this song, and they don't come in until the bridge. I was like, you guys just wait off to the side, because the beginning of the song, it sounds it's not Texas country, but it's something that they can kind of get with.
Yeah, they relate
and,
with.
And then as soon as that bridge comes around and the horns hit, it's like, look like a Cowboy 8 Mile, like an Eminem concert with the hats
awesome.
just bouncing up and down. And by the end of the set, beer was flying everywhere because they were all having a great time. And it was one of the coolest experiences. But that was another like nerve-wracking butterfly moment.
Yeah, because you're standing there and you're
like,
not sure.
Man, I don't know. There's no chicken wire.
Exactly. Can you lower that chicken wire scream
Right.
in front of the stage, or are they just going to hit me with the bottles?
Yeah, but I love all the people up in Amarillo and Hoots Pub have been so good to me, and then also the Blue Light up there in Lubbock. So
I can't imagine that maybe you're not getting a few extra calls about gigs about now too.
yeah, I am, but I mean it's kind of confusing for a lot of people because they see me on TV one week and then
Sure.
it's like I'm also playing at home and they're trying to figure out how
Sure, they're
this
trying to
all
figure
works.
out how that works. It's
Yeah.
the magic of television
Yeah,
if you
magic
haven't
of
figured that
television.
out yet. Well, I know you got to get out of here to get to your gig, but before you go, give them those places again where they can find out more information about you.
Yeah, michaelleeband.com. You can see all my gigs, email, merchandise, my singles and all that stuff. But Instagram, it's at Michael Lee FW, Twitter at Michael Lee FW, and then Facebook, I guess it'd be facebook.com/Michael Lee FW.
And is the first CD, is that still for sale somewhere? Have you
Yes,
got it on
I think
your-
it is still for sale online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can still get that before
Yeah.
the new stuff comes out
Yeah,
too.
with the 2 singles we have are just for digital download right now. And they'll be on the record whenever the record comes out.
Sure.
So.
Okay, anything else you want to add to this about this experience? Because this is an
yeah.
incredible experience for
The
you.
Voice airs every Monday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. So be on the lookout for me because we're starting the knockout rounds, and you're not going to want to miss this.
There you go. Thank you so much for coming down here. I really appreciate it. And folks, make sure you check out that stuff. I'm going to put links to all that on the blog as well.